Hello and welcome to Connecticut at your service. I'm your host today, Terry Perkins. I'm filling in for Carmen A. Nieves. Carmen, if you're watching, we miss you, we love you. Today we have a special guest. His name is Alvaro Ramirez. He is the union carpenter, superintendent, and an instructor, but he also has started something called Al's Helping Hands, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about Alvaro, or Al. So he's a compassionate, community-oriented individual with a deep commitment to giving back. He has been in carpentry for over 6 years, but for the past 2 to 3 months, he has been using his carpentry skills to help others in his community. He's based in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and he provides free carpentry labor to individuals who are elderly, 60 plus, disabled, or low-income residents of the East End of Bridgeport specifically. His mission extends just beyond carpentry. He aims to inspire young people to pursue, whatever skills they might be interested in, and many, many more things. But I'll just give it a little sneak peek there about Al. But Al, thank you so much for coming to the show. Thank you so much for what you do in the community. We're happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So tell us a bit about your background and basically how we've gotten all the way to Al's Helping Hands. I know that's a big question.
My journey started about 7 years ago. I am from Bridgeport, born and raised, so I lived a very different lifestyle before I joined the union. One that I'm not so proud of, but I'm proud that it landed me where I was at to be in the right time for God to really give me this blessing that I have embarked on. So I joined the Carpenters Union about 6.5 years ago. I joined the union through community development through the Sono collection in Norwalk. So that was birthed, planned through the mayor of Norwalk, Mayor Rilling, great mayor of Rilling. Shout out to him, he's a great guy. And then Ms. Deidre Davis, she runs Boundless Global. So she's a community partner, outreach specialist, just a great person. So she was the community part of it. And then GGP at the time, and they have since switched their name to Brookfield Properties. So they kind of had a collective to get individuals from the surrounding area. So one of the developments on Water Street, they were knocking down the old projects, Runer Court. So Ms. D kind of was like, well, what are you going to do for the people of the neighborhood, right? So, which I think is just super of her and super noble. So she started the program. I found out I was actually working armed security at Family and Children right across the street where they were having the meeting. So I just went. Like I said, I'll give it a shot. And that day changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I met with Deidre Davis. She, went through the whole orientation. There was a lot of different trades there. So it was electrical, plumbers, all the building trades. And then the carpenters were present as well. And at the end, I remember just telling Ms. D, I was like, listen, just give me a shot and I won't let you down, I'll do what I gotta do. So she did, she called me, I was thrilled. I joined the Carpenters Union as an apprentice, first-year apprentice. I didn't even know how to read a tape measure before I got in the union. And that experience was the best thing I've ever done in my life. It's 4 years, it's the other 4-year college. And you don't have to pay anything. It's all paid from previous members. They pay into a fund, and that educates all future members.
Nice.
So it was free to me. I learned from day one. I was on the job, and then I also did schooling. So that was great because you're making money from day one.
Right.
It's like going to college, but you're making money.
Yeah.
And then your skills, as your skills increase and you go further along in your apprenticeship, there's a 4-year apprenticeship. So we started, so first-year apprentice, then you go second-year apprentice, and you get a raise.
Nice.
And we're talking a $4 or $5 raise.
Okay.
So it's substantial. And then on the end of the 4 years, you become a journeyman carpenter, which is basically your skills are that you can basically do just about everything in a building.
Yes.
So I I got with my company is AV Tucci Builders out of Norwalk, Connecticut. Fantastic guys. Shout out to them as well. Dave, Mike, Matt, Neil Jr., and everybody. Those guys really took the time to, teach me. They're very old school, very skilled, and very knowledgeable.
Those are the best ones to be trained
and they expect it.
Yeah.
They expect you to really, bring your A game every day. So I learned, and I say I had a different lifestyle. I really learned that through this journey. I learned how to work hard, wake up early, show up on time, be present, be conscious, think about yourself, think about safety, keep your head on the swivel. I learned a lot of things in this industry that really transformed my life as an individual as well. So I've been with them my whole time, AV Tucci Builders. I'm now a superintendent with them. So I just got that promotion. Very excited about that. Very excited about the future. And then from there, I became a part-time instructor as well with North Atlantic States Regional Council of Carpenters. So our council covers from New York State all the way to Maine.
Okay.
So I'm an instructor with them. I teach a few training certification classes with them.
Nice.
So that's been a journey and an experience as well. Just this whole thing kind of launched, where I see how people really care about other people, and that's been my experience with the Carpenters Union in this journey. Even just meeting Deidre Davis, where, I'm from Bridgeport. She didn't have to give me a shot. It was a Norwalk project for Norwalk residents. And she said she saw something, and she didn't care where I was from, and that really means something to me about, giving back what you learn to someone in the next generation to really pull them forward in their lives. And I don't have to gatekeep the information,
right.
and I don't have to be the only one making money. There's more than enough for everyone. And that's also something I've learned, in my previous lifestyle, where I was kind of selfish, and I thought about me, and I thought about what I can do and what I can get. But in this, it was like, wow, I work with people. One of my good buddies, Sal Kumo, I remember I didn't know how to do crown molding. I haven't taken the class yet. I was like a second-year apprentice. He comes to my house. He said, yeah, I'll come to your house early, like 5:30 in the morning, and I'll show you how to do it, like a little bit, and then you're once I show you, you're going to be good from there. And I said, all right, and he did that. 5:30 in the morning, he showed up at my house
he did it.
to show me how to do crown molding.
Nice.
And now I do crown molding, and I know how to do crown molding. I'm very skilled at it. So just that whole journey just really changed me so much.
Oh, thank you for sharing it. Now you did it like a perfect timeline and segue, so thank you. But you said something that stuck out to me. Well, a couple things, but I think the mindset that I think you said you had in the previous one, it reminds me of like the crabs in a barrel or crabs in a bucket mindset.
Yeah.
And there's definitely plenty out there for everybody. Everybody can eat, as they say, sort of thing.
Yes.
So I think that's great that you're trying to share what you've been given freely and share it as well. But, I want to talk about Al's Helping Hands. If you could speak a bit more about how that got birthed, and we have a little bit of your background and how you got to it, but why specifically Al's Helping Hands? I know you're telling me that Al is a nickname that you got.
Yeah. So Al's my my carpenter nickname.
Oh, carpenter name.
Yeah. So when I joined the union, one of our superintendents, he'd always be like, "What's your name again?" And I'd be like, "Alvaro," and he's like, Okay. And then after a couple of times, he was like, "Are you all right with me calling you Al?" And that was it. Once I said yes, that was it. So,
okay.
But yeah. So with Al's Helping Hands, I kind of explained a little bit of my journey, and through that time, I've kind of reflected and looked at my past, look where I've come from, and all this kind of really good, stuff that birthed from this opportunity and that I got through the Carpenters Union, and it really just was on my mind for a few years now. I would say a couple years now.
Oh, wow.
Where I've just been like, man, I'm really blessed. A lot of things happening, doors opening up left and right. becoming a professional carpenter and not knowing how to read a tape measure, not knowing where that goes, why it goes there, to understanding everything. And it kind of comes together through your apprenticeship. And it's just an amazing feeling that I can do anything. You know, I feel that I can do anything, I can build anything. I'm very confident in who I am. And I just feel like it's such a blessing, you know, being able to purchase my home. I have a rental property, you know, where I'm building wealth for myself and my family and my children. So I had kids really young. So I had my oldest son when I was 16. So going through that, and him being now taller than me, he's like 6'3". Nice. And just seeing how my life even changed with him. You know, I was dead broke when he was a kid, you know, and I was a kid. Right. So, and just kind of reflecting, speaking with family members, and just kind of thinking what I can do. And then really kind of what solidified I had to do something was my priest, Father Skip from Blessed Sacrament, shout out to him too. He's a great guy, man, and he's just pure-hearted. And he was talking at the end of church right before we let out, and he says, you know, I just want to take a minute to tell you guys about, you know, really giving back, you know, like, you know, how the government and like a lot of agencies, organizations, everybody's giving maybe to like other people, or we have to understand that we have people right here in Bridgeport that really need the help. So like, before you go looking across the seas, look in your own backyard, right? To give a helping hand and just help somebody. And he was talking about how like it doesn't matter if it's big or if it's small, you know, if it's grand or not. If it's something small, just opening a door for somebody, or you know, just something small. So that really resonated with me afterwards, and I was thinking and pondering, and I said, you know, what can I do? What can I do? So I was thinking and thinking, and I said, what I can do is what I know. Right. You know, I gained these skills, and I feel I can help out. So it was a lot of back and forth, and then a lot of involvement with my family. My wife, she's everything to me. My wife, Brooke, she's just like kind of my whole world. So we talked about it, and we came up with the time, or 2 hours or less. So something that I can do 2 or 3 days throughout the week, because, you know, I'm a big family guy, so family first. So I said, you know, I just want it to be something where I'm helping people out, but at the same time I have time, because I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm a superintendent. That's a huge part of my life right now. I'm really dedicated to making that, you know, solid and work for me in my future. So, and that's kind of it. I just thought about what are some needs, you know, who's our target market, and I was like, you know, I really wanted to be people from the neighborhood, people who need help, you know, people who are like myself back in the day, just struggling, you know, sitting at the table looking at bills, and you have no money to pay them, and you don't know how you're going to come up with that, you know. So just alleviating some issues that you have in your house. Maybe that's $150 you could have kept in your pocket, or you could have paid on the light bill, or, you know. So and that's kind of where it came, and how I got it. I birthed it.
You said so many good things. One of the things I wanted to comment on is, I know you mentioned, and it says it on your flyer as well, but the 2-hour mark, because you have so many things going on, yes, but also, you know, your family, and prioritizing that aspect as well. I know a lot of people, they want to give back, but they might overextend themselves. So it's good to have that boundary there, and I feel like that will help you, and it'll help more people as well, because then you could reach more in that time maybe as well. I liked also, we were talking before we interviewed, you were saying, even if it's not something that you can do, you know, you have a network of people you can like reach out to or point people to and different things like that. So I thought that was cool. But if we can pull up the flyer, I know we have one, it's just like maps out everything or all the people that you can reach. So can you speak a little bit more on that, or like examples of the services?
So the examples of the services are small projects. So anything from holes in the walls, some sheetrock repair, loose handrails. What else can I do? So we have on there small furniture, you know, for anyone who's disabled or you know, 60 plus, who just can't put it together, or it's just going to sit in the corner forever, just give me a call, I'll come by and put it together. So that's kind of where I'm targeting, so it's small projects. And then again, like you said, I have, and that's another blessing, I have such a large network of other craftsmen and individuals who can do just about everything. So if you reach out to me and it's something that's beyond my scope and it's too big, I can find somebody, or I know somebody who can get it done. So that's another plus to it as well. And then keeping it to the East End, again, just for time and family purposes, it's only me. So I want to be able to do these a couple times a week and just keep it going like that. And I do say to everyone who asks me, if you're in another part of Bridgeport and you feel that you know someone or you need help, I will work it out. But I just, at this moment, I can't open to all of Bridgeport because, I'll have,
that's a lot.
I need
Bridgeport's
100,
pretty big.
I need 100 owls. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I just want to be realistic because what I'm doing is I really want this to help people. So I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, and it ended up, really not getting where I want it to be.
So first off, how can people contact you? How should they do that?
So I have a number on there. You can just call that number.
Okay.
You can also reach out, to the email, and just reach out to me. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, so how can people support you as well? So like, let's say they don't need anything, but they want to give in some way. How could they possibly do that? Are you looking for help?
Yeah, so right now, we just launched, so I'm not getting crazy calls. I think, a lot of that type of building stuff really picks up in the spring when it starts to get a little warmer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say volunteering. And then also eventually, hopefully, I want to get this into a nonprofit. And when I do that, obviously donations, because I want it, now it's free labor, but I would love to make it just a free service period where I can come, very small project, so I'm not, it's not crazy, but I can come buy the sheetrock, tape, or whatever I need, patch the hole, get some screws and tighten up your handrail or whatever, so that's kind of where I want it to be. But yeah, volunteering, anyone who can spread the word right now, just get it out there, and that I would say is the biggest thing right now, just getting it out there.
Okay. And for, just to clarify, the volunteers, like, do they need to be like a certain level of like?
No, because at this kind of scope of work is more just like hold that end of the wood, or hold this here, so yeah, it's very, very simple stuff. So yeah, it would just be very simple.
Okay, well that's good to know. Moving towards the future, I know you're kind of like a visionary. I'm hearing so many different things about what you want to do, what you have been doing. Can we speak more towards that? Because I could totally see it happening, sort of thing. And I love the vision that you have and what we talked about when we were off air. But kind of more towards like helping others with, or if people want to help, what skills that they can bring out to then help others, or even in their career, sort of thing. People who may not have any idea, kind of like how you were when you were younger. Like, can you speak more towards that, like what you see yourself doing in the future? Yes.
So I see myself, and I see really Al's Helping Hands being a community connection to career paths. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart, especially with Bridgeport. A lot of us struggle. 68% of the city lives under the poverty line. So that's something that really resonates in my mind and in my heart. So I feel that throughout my journey, learning these skills and meeting all the individuals that I've met that helped me along my journey, I feel that I want to kind of birth connection to some of those careers. So as we spoke earlier, let's say, for instance, one of my uncles, David Roman, he was security, he was correctional, and he retired from correctional. So he has connections there, just finding good-hearted people. I have a lot of other union brothers where they're plumbers or pipe fitters or elevator guys where, how did you get started, and what was your path? What's the best way to get in? What do I need to know? What do I need to learn? And just really connecting, especially the youth in underserved communities and people of those communities, those career paths, you know, not a job or a dead end job, something that you're gonna elevate yourself,
Right.
your family. You know, I purchased my house. I have a multifamily in Bridgeport, first year apprentice.
Nice.
I've rebuilt everything in there. The positive equity that I've built in my property with my own two hands is enormous.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
So not only teaching people this is a career, but like individuals in the Carpenters Union have taught me, hey, invest. Save your money, do this, open an IRA. You know what an IRA is, right? No, I don't know what that is. Oh, well, this, take $100, put it in there every week, see what happens in a year, see what happens in 10 years, right? That type of stuff where we can train and teach people. And again, where we don't have to hoard this information.
Right.
We spread it to our communities and see people thrive and just really enjoy that, right? Because I see myself, I build stuff on my house, my neighbor builds something, right? The guy down the street's building something. So we're all bouncing that energy off of each other, you know? So, I really just believe that, and that's something I really would love for this to go in the direction of just plugging people in, you know, people who want to work, people who are like, I want to do something, but I don't know how, and that was me. I don't know how, I didn't know where, I had a high school diploma and that was it. You know, I had no skills, and I really felt like nothing. I felt like nothing, and I feel like a lot of people do, and I'm here to say I believe in you. You know, I believe in myself. I've done it. I know I can do it, and there's nothing any better than me, you know, that you can't do. Right. You know, so anything I can do, you can do. You know, and I have the blueprint, especially with the Carpenters Union, where you can really be successful, and you know that hard old school. Kind of training that I got with my company, you become that worker. You know, that superintendents and owners are like, that's my guy. You know, and it's a prideful thing, and I would love to just pass that to as many people as I can.
Nice. I love the mindset, just the mindset that you have of just wanting to share that information, because I feel like, especially with young people, it's just like, at least today or just in general, there's a lack of just knowing what's the right way to go, or can I try this? Who do I go to like try this? We had Eileen Cordon Lopez from the Greater Bridgeport Latino Network. We had her for the last episode, but unfortunately the audio didn't work, so it was really just me and her talking here with Ricky in the back. But so much information, and she has a similar aim of just like educating people to empower them, not just to get a job or not just to give out, you know, oh, well, here's some free whatever, but like empower yourself. Like this is this and this is that sort of thing. But also the network aspect, you know, like it's a network, so they're connected to different people in the community, not just Latino, but they might know somebody who might know somebody. So I think it's really awesome, and I think it's needed. Even the aspect of you saying, like, you know, you do something, your neighbors are doing something. We need that community part to come back together, because right now it's not the best.
Yeah,
you know,
agree.
so I definitely love that mindset. Is there any advice you would give to somebody younger who doesn't really know what they might want to do, or doesn't really see they don't really see too far ahead, like, you know, kind of someone who is feeling low, like you were just saying, does it have a low self-image sort of thing?
I would tell them to join the Carpenters Union. But in all seriousness, I really, I would say to any young person out there, believe in yourself. You know, look yourself in the mirror, see what you want to do, and just go for it. Don't be scared. You know, fear is the killer of all dreams. And if you're scared and you don't push through, you'll never see what's on the other side. So I would say just keep pushing. If you're looking for a career, you know, come to the info session. We hold it at 500 Yalesville, Connecticut, at 6 p.m. the first Monday of every month. So it's just an info session. You can come by, see what the Carpenters Union has to offer. I would say join any union. I support, you know, organized labor. To be honest, it's night and day compared to a non-union job. And yeah, just keep pushing. Believe in yourself. You know, sometimes the people that look like you are not in those positions, but if you don't get into those positions, then you can't inspire other people to do the same. So that's kind of the biggest thing I would say.
That's good. If I could add on to what you're saying, I would say speak to more people, I guess, too. Like, you never know what people or who people might know or anything. Like, I would, walking down the street, I wouldn't know that you're a carpenter with, like, superintendent and instructor and all these things. So I'd say, I don't know, just be more bold. Be more bold. Speak to more people. Not with anything expectant, but just, you never know who you might meet, sort of thing. And definitely use the resources that Connecticut has, because there's a lot, and that's good. But thank you so much for being on the show. Time is like speeding by. If we could pull up your flyer one more time, I just wanted to shout it out. Are you bilingual as well?
No, so
Okay.
I speak a little Spanish, but not that great. I'm from Bridgeport, so.
No problem. I just wanted, because I see the bilingual flyer, so
I wanted to do that just because there's a lot of influx of Spanish people in the community, so I just want to make sure that they have access as well.
Yes.
I do have family members who are fully, bilingual, so there's no problem, and I can get by.
You can get by, okay.
I can get by.
Yeah, we're not, No, but I definitely wanted to show that again, just so, it's free labor for eligible residents. We have somebody here who's trying to do something great for the community, the East End, right?
Yes, East End, Bridgeport, yeah.
Yes, East End. So thank you so much for being on the show today. I hope that Al's Helping Hands goes super far, goes beyond what you are even dreaming for it, and I hope you're able to reach a lot of people. We come to you guys live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. We have lots of amazing guests lined up for the future. We had Alvaro Ramirez today from Al's Helping Hands. We hope to see you guys for our next upcoming episode. Make sure to check out his flyers, send him an email, give him a phone call, send that flyer to somebody that you might know, and stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you so much.